A warm welcome to Diski Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things MTN 8 first leg semi-final between Kaizer Chiefs versus Amazulu. Before we head into this tactical pre-match analysis, I am wearing a shirt from Classic Shirts, so do visit the site, which is classicshirts.co.za, and get yourself a classic jersey. And there's a discount code. The discount code is DiskiTalk10, which then gives you a discount on all items. So this discount code then is unlimited. So do make sure that you do make use of it when you do visit the site, which is classicshirts.co.za. So heading up into this encounter then, we do have Kaizer Chiefs, which will be represented by the red team, Amazulu, which will be represented by the blue team. So in the MTN 8 then, Kaizer Chiefs did manage to overcome Stellenbosch within the quarterfinals, and then with Amazulu they did manage then to see off Cape Town City. Also key to note that Kaizer Chiefs Amazulu will be playing against each other for the second time in a space of a couple of weeks, as they did play to a 0-0 draw at the F&B Stadium. So they do meet again this weekend at the F&B Stadium, again within the MTN 8 semi-final first leg. So when you have a look at Kaizer Chiefs then, they've really struggled this season, as they do find themselves not being able then to get a consistent run of form with regards to having good performances, where then they are able to score goals and win those games. With Amazulu then, they started off really well, but they have tailed off a bit within the past couple of weeks with regards to their performances. So coming up then into this encounter, it will be key that both teams do look to try then get to their very best. So Kaizer Chiefs then, when we have a look at it, they have been playing a 4-3-3. In goals, you do have Itumile Nkune. As the left back, you do have Shanti, who is quite key then with regards to offering this Kaizer Chiefs side that width within the left wide channel. Whenever then his left wing would look to tuck in and occupy the half space or occupy central pockets of space, you would have Shanti looking to offer the width. A player then who has been also quite key for this Kaizer Chiefs side from a defensive perspective, as he is also then well and able to keep up with his winger, and a player then who has been one of Kaizer Chiefs' best performers thus far. Moving on then right along, you do have a look at it. You do have Edmilson, and then you have Quiniga. But we do know that this is an area where Kaizer Chiefs have really struggled. They've really struggled then within the centre-back department with regards to finding a pairing that understands each other, that is able then to cut out the mistakes. So being able to ensure then that they can grow consistent with regards to the communication, the performances, and being able then to cut out those mistakes. So they've really struggled in that regard. We do know that they do have Njabulung Ngobo, they do have Dube, and they do have Ngezana as well. Dube hasn't really had a look, but I think if Dube was to be given a chance, I really think then that is a player then who could look then to add those qualities for this Kaizer Chiefs side. But like I did mention, they haven't settled on their main two, because they've chopped and changed, and it will be interesting to see going forward what is their strongest two. Could be Dove there as the left-sided centre-back to offer that balance. Could be Quiniga as well. But like I did mention, you also have Ngobo, who I think is a very, very good defender, who could also stake a claim there. And then as a right back, you do have Solomons, who has then been one of the consistent players with regards to availability for this Kaizer Chiefs side. I would say that at times he struggled more than he's had good performances. I think then also him having to adapt to this role, because naturally he is a right winger. Also considering then that his decision making at times has been very poor, and his final ball as well. Moving on then right along within the heart of midfield, this is an area where they struggled in the defensive midfield position, but we did see Blom coming back and being able to stabilize things, where he looked really good. Jabulo Blom then would be looking to protect his back four, looking then to ensure that he does offer that option that can drop in between the two centre backs, looking to collect deep and offering them that quality within build-up phase, looking then to take the ball from build-up into consolidation phase, as is very good on the ball with regards to progressing it. You do have Jabulo Blom, who would sit there. And then you do then have Yusuf Mart and then you do have Sitebe. So with Blom coming in, it has allowed Yusuf Mart to venture forward and given him a lot more freedom. So when you do have a look at Yusuf Mart, who I think is a key player for this Kaizer Chiefs side, very key then within the heart of midfield with regards to progressing the ball, being able to control things within the heart of midfield, and he does play those lovely diagonal passes where he can switch the point of reference from one side to the other side of the pitch. A player who we know then can also strike from long range and would be looking to improve that aspect, as he does have the technical ability. It's about him being able then to get those shots on target. When you look at the front three then, you do have Caleb, you've got Sikhota, and then you also have Ashley Dupree. So when you do have a look at this Kaizer Chiefs side, that is what they would look like. So when you do have a look at that front three, that is also another department where Kaizer Chiefs have really struggled, because Kaizer Chiefs haven't been able then to create clear-cut chances. They've struggled with creativity. So from the central areas within the heart of midfield, even up front, they've struggled with regards to the synergy of the three up front. They've struggled then to create clear-cut chances. They've struggled then to also score goals. So once you struggle with creativity, you're going to struggle to score goals, you know. And they've also been quite poor at set pieces, both at defending them and also offensive set pieces. So this Kaizer Chiefs side, when it comes to goal scoring threat, you know, in that department, it looks very bad, you know. But we did see Caleb being able then on his full debut at home, being able then to score a brace against SuperSport United. So he will be looking then to offer that threat and offer that presence, where then he can look to occupy the two centre halves then, which will most likely be Kumede and Mubara as well. And he will be looking to be a threat within the box. Caleb does offer a different dimension from this Kaizer Chiefs side, because he does look to hold up the ball for this Kaizer Chiefs side, gives them a point of reference, that physicality up front as well. So that is Kaizer Chiefs front three. A player then who I would say has been one of the better performers and the standout performers within that front three has been Sikhota. He's very quick, very skillful, and a player then who does look to go one-on-one with these men. So whenever the ball is in that wide area on the left, does look to go one-on-one with these men. Look to go on the outside and look to whip the ball in. I would say then something that he could look to add to his game is being able to occupy the half space and occupy the role as an inside forward, because sometimes on the wing he does become a bit predictable that he's going to go on the outside. So if he can look then to start operating within this area and look to get closer to goal, he could be deadly as well. So that is Sikhota then, who is a key player for this Kaizer Chiefs side. You do have Dupree. We do know that you have Dolly as well. You have Biliat. But yeah, their form has been very poor. You also then do have Nkosimpile Ngcobo, who can always come then from the heart of midfield, look then to add that creativity. With Kaizer Chiefs, they do also look to press quite high up and make sure that they can unsettle Amazulu with regards to their build-up scheme. And without the ball then, what you would see from this Kaizer Chiefs side is that they would go then to this 4-3-3 block. So without the ball, that is like sort of their defensive scheme. They'd go to that 4-3-3 block without the ball. At times does look somewhat of a 4-5-1. Offensive scheme then would depend, as you would see ball side fullback looking to push up. And then what you would see is far side fullback looking to tuck in, which makes it a 3. And then you would have one there. So what you would see sometimes is a 3-2-5 offensive scheme, but a lot of the times you would see somewhat then of a 3-3-4 offensive scheme where it can be conservative. In this case, they could look to push both fullbacks to offer the width. Then the offensive scheme does become a 2-3-5, where then you have the two number 8s stationed into those two deep pockets of space within the half spaces, the left side, right side, where then they're looking to ensure that they are well set up with regards to their rest defense and in preparation then for when they lose the ball and Amazulu are looking then to transition offensively and hit this Kaizer Chiefs side on the counter attack. So that is Kaizer Chiefs then. Coming up into this encounter, I do think that a key player then will be Yusuf Mart, especially then within the heart of midfield, because the last time out then within the DStv Premiership League encounter, I do think that these sides cancelled each other out, especially from a midfield perspective, as it was 3 versus 3 within the heart of midfield. So I do think Yusuf Mart could be the difference for this Kaizer Chiefs side. As well, Caleb up front could very well look then to get those goals. Moving on then right along, when you do have a look at Amazulu. So Amazulu under Truter have been lining up in a 4-3-3 where they would play 3 out-and-out strikers. But against Mamelodi Sundowns, we did see them change shape, where then they did play a 3-4-3. At times, it looked somewhat of a 3-5-2 with Zuma and Mhango up front. And then, yeah, that's what they did. But I do think that they will change their shape back to a 4-3-3, like how they've been playing. So when you do have a look at the personalities in goals, you do have Veli Motwa. And then as the right back, I do think that you will have Thembela Skakane, who becomes quite key in offering the width within that right wide channel for this Amazulu side. And then as the right side at centre-back, you do have Gumede. Left side at centre-back, you do have Abubakar Mubara. With Mubara, he's quite key then at progressing the ball for this Amazulu side from those deep pockets of space within the left half space. Also very good at beating the first line of press, where then he is a press-resistant centre-back, and also very comfortable on his left foot as well. So he also does have a very good range of passing, as he can play those dodge passes. He can play those diagonals as well. Very comfortable in playing then and looking for his midfield players. Also then, whenever he does drift to that left wide channel, even in 1v1 situations, then defensively, very good as well. Within the left wide channel, you do have Rian Hanamub, who's been very good for this Amazulu side. He does look to offer the width, and he does have great technical ability with regards to the crosses he does put in. At times, he does take set pieces as well, which he could look to be a threat at, especially considering that this Kaizer Chiefs side, they do struggle at times to defend those set pieces and defend crosses as well. So Hanamub could look to capitalize from that perspective. And he's very, very quick as well. Within the heart of midfield, the three, you do have Mahaula, who is the captain. Very key then with regards to offering that protection and that cover for his back four. Very key then in build-up phase, as he does look to take the ball from deep pockets and look then to play those penetrative passes, where then at times he is looking for his more creative players. Then you do have Malega. You do have Keegan Buchanan. Keegan Buchanan has been very, very good this season so far. He's won a couple of man of the match performances. He's had an assist. He's had shots on target. A player then who is really improving and broadening his skill set with regards to what he can offer this Amazulu side. He does act as a deep laying playmaker, as he does look to take it from deep. He's got phenomenal range of passing within the opposition half. Like I did mention, he's got those defense splitting passes. He does have that dodge pass. He's got an assist. He is shooting from range as well, and he is finding target as well. Key player then for this Amazulu side. Up front then, you will most likely have Untuli, you have Kwem, and then you have Mango, who comes off the left-hand side. So with this Amazulu side, a lot of the times they use their fullbacks to offer that width, because I did mention that they play with 3 out-and-out strikers. 3 out-and-out strikers then who are players who look then to institute that positional rotation, as there isn't one then who occupies a central zone throughout. But mostly it would be Kwem, but they do interchange. So sometimes you do find Kwem wide, you do find Hango there, then you have Nduli. But we do know that they do have other players then. You do have Majoro, could always look to add quality. You do have Zuma as well, who could look to add quality. Within the heart of midfield, they do have Brooks as well, who can look then to come into the heart of midfield within the second half, as we have seen him make those appearances off the bench. So that is Amazulu with regards to what they're looking to do. They would have then a 2-3-5 offensive scheme, with the 2 fullbacks being key then in offering that width for this Amazulu side. So one of then the disadvantages with these 3 up front then is that when Amazulu do sit deep at times, they don't always track the fullbacks. So that could be something that Kaizer Chiefs could look to exploit. However, I do see it being a very, very balanced game. You know, I do see possession being very balanced. I don't see one team being able to dominate the one. I do think that in one half, you will see maybe the one slightly having more possession. In the other half, the one having slightly more control. So I do think that it is a game that's going to be very balanced. And a game then where I don't think both sides will be creating clear-cut chances. And I do think they'll cancel each other out within the heart of midfield. So I do foresee then a 1-1 draw within this game. Do let me know then, what do you make of this game? And because then it is the MTN 8, it is the semi-final fixtures. Remember, away goals do count. So if Amazulu do get that away goal, like I think they will, where it's going to be 1-1, that does bode very well for them within the second leg. So, ladies and gentlemen, do let me know at home, what do you make of Kaizer Chiefs versus Amazulu within the MTN 8 semi-final first leg, where I think then within Kaizer Chiefs, Yusuf Matt and Caleb up front will be then key players for this Kaizer Chiefs side. For Amazulu, then the key players then will be Buchanan and Mhango as well. Do let me know, what do you make of this game? What do you predict the score will be? And who do you think will advance to the final of the MTN 8? Also, like I did mention, do check out classicshirts.co.za and get yourself a classic jersey. And of course, there is a discount. Discount code is DiskiTalk10. Do make sure that you do use that discount code as it is unlimited access. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.